6 o'clock here on this Wednesday, and as we kick off this Wednesday, some breaking news out of the Capitol. We're learning in the last 10 minutes the state Senate has just passed the largest school funding bill in state history. We have CeCe Gaines out there following all this. Going to get to her in just a second.
Yeah, she'll break down what that even means
Exactly.
for you watching at home. Meanwhile, let's get over to Guy tracking another warm and slightly hazy day.
Yeah, you can see the haze already. Time now 6:01, so sun up, and this is how it looks outside. East wind at 10 miles per hour, 52. Nice and comfortable for you getting out of the door. More sunshine in the forecast, but filtered sun, right? More Canadian wildfire smoke. However, by 3 o'clock, notice increasing cloud cover with the added haze and the cloud cover that could make up for a gorgeous sunset. But we're not looking at, any air quality alerts, right? We have none of that posted for today, unlike yesterday. So we'll cool off tomorrow with rain. Friday, 60, cooler and breezy. Megan.
All right, I am keeping tabs right now on an accident in Ramsey, so I'll keep you posted on that. For some reason, the camera that I'm trying to pull up isn't working. So I will keep you posted on that, but just be aware if you travel through Ramsey this morning, plan in a few extra minutes. Not far from there, this is 10 eastbound at Sunfish Lake Boulevard. Lots of traffic, but you can see people are moving along. We'll keep you posted on some weekend closures and a look at the metro overall coming up.
All right, Megan, thank you. Let's get back to that breaking news out of the state capitol. Again, in the last 10 minutes, we learned the Senate just passed the largest school funding bill in state history.
And the vote was 35-32. And here's a look at the Senate chambers. We're at 5:51. So as we said 10 minutes ago, the Senate adjourned after being at the Capitol for nearly 20 hours. CeCe is outside the Capitol, and CeCe, you've been tracking all of the details about this debate and it now passing throughout the night.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so that nearly 20 hours included a lot of speeches from senators. It also included debates over different amendments. But in the end, as you mentioned, this bill did pass. Now, of course, the Senate has adjourned for this morning, but they actually will be back here in a few hours, according to their Twitter, at 1 p.m. So still a lot of work to do. But back to this bill, this $2.2 billion bill. It includes a lot, so let's break it down. It includes a 4% increase in pupil per pupil aid in the first year, and then followed by a 2% increase in that second year. And then after that, there's just going to be automatic increases in the future. The bill would also set aside aid money for literacy and helping school districts pay for special education programs, which are mandated by the federal government. It'll also provide more dollars for support staff like your counselors, your psychologists, school nurses, and that's an area where Minnesota lags compared to most of the nation. There's also money to help districts hire and retain teachers of color, and then also provide an ethnic studies curriculum.
Members, I would ask you to support this bill in the biggest and best way, because this is the biggest and best investment that we have had in a long, long time.
Backroom deals, no public comment, and no bipartisanship being seen. This bill shouldn't be being discussed right now, in the middle of the night, with no one able to watch.
So this bill, it did pass the House yesterday, just minutes ago, passed here in the Senate. So now on its way to Governor Walz's desk. He says that he is ready to sign it. Jason, Alicia.
All right, CeCe Gaines on this breaking news for us this morning. Thank you.
It's busy times in the legislature. They could also legalize recreational pot in the coming days. In the last 24 hours, a conference committee finished merging the House and Senate bills into one. The final version includes, among other things, a 10% tax on cannabis products on top of existing sales taxes. The bill is expected to pass. The governor would need to sign it, which he says he would. It would then go into effect on August 1st, although retail sales at dispensaries would not happen for about a year.
Lawmakers are also working to find a compromise on the Nurses at the Bedside Act bill. The bill would require hospitals to form committees that mandate staffing levels by defining a number of patients each nurse can care for. Rural hospital leaders say it could be the start of the end for nonprofit hospitals across the state.
In this proposed legislation, there are elements of it that fundamentally change the management of healthcare in Minnesota and would remove critical decision-making from our care teams and our healthcare professionals and providers.
The Minnesota Nurses Association, which supports the Bedside Act, said in a statement the only potential consequences for hospital administrators under this bill are a public grading system to give the public transparency about how well hospital systems do to meet the staffing goals set by the bedside workers and management together. The Mayo Clinic is threatening to pull $4 billion in investments out of Minnesota, with plans to invest it in their other campuses if this bill gets passed. And be sure to stay with KARE 11 for the latest on the end of the legislative session. All day and night, we're going to have updates on the bills that will impact every Minnesotan. You can find that information posted at KARE11.com, our social media platforms, and on air. This morning, Minneapolis police are looking for a fourth teen accused of leading police on a dangerous chase across town.
The teens are also allegedly involved in a drive-by shooting at Minneapolis school district offices. And at one point, the police chief actually chased down and arrested one of the suspects. Eva Anderson joins us live from downtown Minneapolis with an update on this developing story. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Jason. It was quite the pursuit. Police say it involved 4 teens in 2 stolen cars, at least 2 guns. And they were able to arrest 3 of the teens. They're still looking for another. Here's how it all played out. Police first responded to shots fired around North Girard and West Broadway. That's where the window was shot out at MPS headquarters. Then they used video from city cameras to find one of the stolen cars. They chased the teens in the stolen Kia around Lowry and North Logan. They had to stop the chase for safety when they got near a school bus with kids inside. And then they resumed around North Lyndale and 25th. And then at East 28th in Portland, the teens got out. Police, including Chief O'Hara, who was in the area, chased them down and arrested 3 of them. Now take a look at these new images police gave us. They say the teens showed reckless and violent behavior. They're calling it an emergency, saying in part, these juveniles are a danger to themselves and to anyone who happens to be around them. Police also shared that they were able to arrest the teens due to new policy enacted earlier this month by Chief O'Hara that allows police to pursue vehicles in the instances of felony firearms discharges. Back to you.
It could have been so much worse, too. Thankfully, no one was hurt. All right, Cece, thank you. Or Eva, thank you.
Well, this morning, community groups are calling out the Minneapolis Police Department over its plans to rebuild the department's 3rd precinct. The city has been holding listening sessions over the past few weeks, asking the community to weigh in on where the new precinct should be built. But now community members are speaking out, saying that is not the case. The Longfellow Community Council and other neighborhood organizations held a news conference yesterday to voice their concerns.
Why the rush now after years of silence? We need to take the time to understand the city's need for a physical 3rd precinct, what sites have been considered, why certain sites weren't brought forward as potential locations.
The city estimates rebuilding the precinct at the current location would cost about $12 to $16 million and take about 18 months. And a new location at 2600 Minnehaha would cost somewhere between $22 and $26 million and take 3 years to complete. Officials say a comprehensive report involving all of these data points is expected in June.
In 3 hours, the 45-year-old man charged with setting a White Bear Lake fourplex on fire will face a judge for the first time. Now we're learning new information about what led up to that incident. According to the criminal complaint, Christian Dom's parents told police they checked on him before going to bed because they were worried he was high on meth. In the complaint, witnesses told police that they heard Dom ranting and raging before the fire. The document says Dom told them the fire started when he lit a cigarette near some oil in his garage. The fire critically injured a woman, and according to the complaint, it was the wife of Dom's father. She's still in the hospital on a ventilator.
At 6:09 on the clock, and let's take you outside now. We're getting another round of warm weather today, but that could soon change thanks to some rain. And Guy, I'm just going to focus on today. I'm going to focus on today and the nice warm weather without the rain that we're going to have.
For sure, yeah. We don't have to worry about any rain today, so you can carry on with those plans and enjoy the comfortable conditions. Now, not as warm as yesterday. 81 was the high yesterday. We'll be cooler today, noticeably cooler. High temperatures today right around 75. All right, let's get into the weather today. More haze in the forecast, more filtered sunshine, just kind of like we saw from that sky cam at the bus stop this morning. Temps in the low 50s, and you'll see winds east southeast right around 6 miles per hour. Right now, temperature at 52, and then you'll see temps east winds here at about, oh my goodness, birds. All right, east winds right at about 66. They like to build a little nest up here right in front of the green screen. You'll see 66 by noon and then getting into about 75. All right, temperatures as you get to tomorrow morning, low 60s with some sun and clouds, but at least we're dry come tomorrow morning. So that's a plus. We don't have to worry about any rain on the way for the morning commute. Maybe for the evening commute, get ready for showers and storms. We're not looking at anything severe tomorrow, but we could hear a few rumbles of thunder. All right, Friday 60, noticeably cooler Friday. And then to finish the week, you'll see temperatures in the 70s warming up with some sunshine. And next week, we'll have more shower and storm chances. High 80 on Tuesday with storms.
You ran in here awfully fast, Guy.
Heck
The
yeah.
birds, those birds are
I'm
after
messing
you.
with those little birds.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
Don't mess with Mama Bird.